Here's a significant way to reduce the risk of burnout in your coworkers. It is recognition, recognition, acknowledgement. Because one of the big reasons we burn out is when we're not sure we're really making a difference at work anymore. Here's the crazy thing. The thing that you do really well or your team does really well, it's easy to overlook. So the thing that comes naturally and you see them just knocking it out of the park with that particular task or duty or whatever they're doing, it's easy for them to not, or it's difficult for them to see that in themselves. And so for you as a leader to sit them down and say, I know that charting's not your favorite thing to do as a healthcare coworker, but I just want to say I had to do some chart review. I'm looking through some of those things, and you do a fantastic job. You put in enough, but not too much. You're clear. It helps the next person, the next clinician that's going to come in to serve that patient. You're telling the story of the patient. Now, no one's going to walk away from that meeting and say, I am so excited to do more documentation. But at least as a leader, you've highlighted that they're making a difference by doing that, because it really is important. It is significant that they have proper documentation for those patients. All the more so if it's a soft skill. You see them just being really great with a family member of a patient or a resident, something like that. And you pull them aside and say, hey, I just saw how you had that interaction. I remember one time one of my chaplains being on the phone with bereaved families and making call after call. And I heard her, in the way that she was interacting. And down the hall in my office, in my, the director office, I could hear that. And I thought to myself, if my child had just died, and I got a call that sounded like what these calls sound like, that's exactly what I would want in that desperate moment, in that desperate situation. Her tone, her kindness, her professionalism. And so I walked down and I said, Jana, I overheard you, talking like this to these family members. And I just want to tell you, this makes such a huge difference. If you don't want your people to be burned out, you've got to remind them that what they're doing makes such a huge difference. And it can't be just a general difference, but a difference that they feel good about. She wanted to be that person that supported families in that way. So to hear her leader say, I heard you, that's so important, you're making such a difference in these people's lives. I would want this sort of interaction if I was in their situation. Helping them to see that they're making a difference helps them to avoid burnout. If I can help you in any way, your organization, your department, hit me up through my DMs.